Hello, you're listening to Hugo Talks, and this is another lockdown news roundup, looking at Australia, USA and Ireland. Now look, you are not sheep, we are not cattle, but the control grid, the puppet tyrants, they believe we are but cattle and is treating us as such. How this all plays out will depend on how the public, whether or not they're going to react as if they are cattle. I mean, here we have a sheepdog herding loads of sheep. Now, it doesn't take much for the dog to guide all of these sheep through the gate of choice. All he has to do is run aggressively left or right to herd all of these sheep through a gate. And what we are seeing, especially in Australia and soon to be coming to your country, is the same thing. Think of the gate that the sheep are being herded into as the jib-jab passport gate, the jib-jab passport field. That's where they are trying to herd people. But if the sheep, if they all just said no, just refused, what is the sheepdog going to do? There is no way he can get all of these sheep through that gate. He only has the perceived threat of his movements to influence the sheep. And this is easily done because sheep are not that smart. As compared to humans, humans can think, write, invent, and create with their brains, whereas sheep cannot, okay? Now the sheepdogs doing the herding in Australia are a combination of puppet tyrants, and their herding strategy is shouting orders, threats over people's livelihoods, bullying tactics, scare tactics, a lot of fake video footage, especially arrests by police to scare people into not going to protests, and the media putting out clips like this one, trying to create the illusion that everyone is okay with the new policies and that it's just a minority that are not. Check out this clip of news anchors talking about how some people are going into shops and not showing their QR codes. And then cut to specially chosen members of the public who are disgusted with this, probably actors, or these are the 1 in 100 that they have found who would say what they wanted.
Queenslanders are being caught failing to check in at shopping centres and food outlets. It's just one of the health directions not being adhered to, and it could be putting lives at risk.
1, 2, 3 people walking straight past the check-in at busy Hungry Jack's in less than 2 minutes.
People got quite lazy about it.
The problem mirrored at JB Hi-Fi in Queen Street Mall and even at H&M right in front of a security guard.
I work in retail and it matters to me, and I always make sure that I check in.
And we're just as lax with the vax. In Townsville, where only 58% have had both jabs, just 24 people rolled up to this pop-up clinic yesterday.
The real message is, Townsville, where the bloody hell are you?
Queensland Health setting up for more opportunistic clinics over the weekend, including schools far and wide.
Come out, bring your siblings, bring your parents, bring your grandparents.
These Bundaberg students trying to convince their classmates to get the jab.
I would love for people my age and younger to come forward and just get the jab done.
There are so many places you can go. Go to wherever you're comfortable to go to.
116 schools across the state will be taking part in Super Saturday, but you can also get a jab at pharmacies, your GP, a walk-in vaccine hub or a pop-up clinic like this one. The QUT pop-up proving popular this morning.
I was booked in for a couple of weeks' time, but it's much easier for me to be 15 minutes late to a class.
Trying to snag the ones who are lagging behind, the 20 to 39-year-olds.
I just wanted to get it done, just to be safe.
It's probably because I'm lazy, usually just busy with work.
Time to pick up our act.
What are you waiting for? Hurry up, get the jab.
Before it's too late.
They have every angle covered there in that report. Kids, teenagers, 20 to 30s, school kids, members of the public, annoyed that people are not using the QR code. This is the media sheepdog. Reports like this showing people going into a shop, filming them. Again, it's a herding tactic. Here's another clip. In this one, they are painting the illusion that all of the shops are complying. Bars, restaurants have a zero tolerance to people not showing their passports. When I know there are plenty of places that are going against this, they are creating their own illusion so that people believe it and then believe that is how the world is, so that they comply and are therefore herded through that gate.
Racing life in a vaccinated economy. You must show proof you're fully vaxxed to enter cafes, bars and restaurants. And traders are taking a zero-tolerance approach to ensure they can stay open.
It's a ticket to freedom.
Can I just get you to check in?
Yeah, no worries.
On day 2, business owners and their staff making sure customers are following the rules.
That's done. It's good. Come through. Everyone's been really great, and they're really on board with everything, and it's been fantastic. It's just great to be back and to see all your old customers. They're like family. I'm just so happy.
We have a pre-consultation form that they fill out on their phone before they arrive to ask if they're vaccinated.
Traders taking a zero-tolerance approach.
At this stage, we have to just do as what we're told so that we can keep our doors open.
The Prince Alfred in Port Melbourne has hired its own security to handle those refusing to comply.
We had a couple of people come and try and make an issue of it, which was really unfortunate. But it's one of the costs that we're going to incur for the first couple of weeks is just having security permanently at the front door, enforcing check-in before they get through the doors.
Now, a class action has been launched, challenging the COVID-19 vaccine mandate. It was started by a teacher and her husband, but it now has more than 100 supporters from a broad range of occupations, including healthcare workers. But for those who don't take the issue with the mandate, it's almost business as usual.
Pure propaganda there, creating the illusion that everything is fine. These establishments are so happy to comply and become the cabal, the government's tyranny enforcers. It's a completely one-sided report. Once again, this is the media sheepdog, and it's there to make people believe they have to comply, that they should all follow each other and that everyone else is doing it as well, and therefore get them to go through the gate and accept the passport. It's an illusion. This is not the way it needs to be. You are not sheep. You are not cattle. And look at this report from the USA. If you stand united, if you join together and say no, they back off.
The Oklahoma City Police Department doing an about-face.
The department changing their stance on COVID-19 vaccines, and that decision announced today.
Our leadership has chosen to remove the vaccine mandate, which means that those individuals who are applying to the police department are no longer required to receive the vaccination.
People need to stand together. You cannot be moved if you hold the line. In Ireland, the same thing, the same agenda, trying to herd everyone into using this passport system. Here we see a puppet tyrant, a different country, threatening businesses with closure, same strategy if they don't comply, using emotional blackmail. Again, this is an Irish sheepdog, and this is a herding tactic. I mean, apart from Dublin, from what I've been told, most pubs and restaurants aren't playing ball because they don't want to, because like most people, they know it's discriminatory, it's wrong, so they aren't. And the Irish government, they can't check on every pub in the land. They don't have the resources. So this is why you have clips like this in the media.
We're going to have a situation come Friday. The places are going to be open to full capacity. At the moment, they're not open to full capacity, and the COVID certs are still not being rigorously checked. So with extra pressure on businesses, with extra numbers coming through, with queues at the door, with the clubs open, are we really sure that all those COVID certs are going to be checked, that they're going to be cross-checked with ID? It's going to be hugely problematic, isn't it?
Well, I think it is going to be challenging, but I think it's absolutely doable, because the alternative, and I'd say this to business very, very clearly, and I've heard rep bodies say they're up for this, this is your way of being open and staying open. If you want to be able to open, if you want to be able to stay open, if you want to keep the customers coming in the door and the money coming into the till, you've got to play ball in relation to the vaccine cert. And we, as a government and our state agencies, will be ramping up enforcement. But also there's a bit, and I don't want to repeat myself, but there is a bit for all of us as citizens. If you're going into a restaurant, going into a pub, and they're not bothered checking your COVID cert, they're risking your health. Go somewhere else.
All of these countries, all of this happening at the same time, all of them using the same sheep herding tactics in the media and from their puppet tyrants. It's all an agenda. All of them have to use tactics to get the majority to comply with passports because they can't enforce it unless people go along with it. All you have to do is stand up to them and unite and say no. It's as simple as that. As always, thanks for listening. Come and subscribe to the tribe at hugotalks.com, a place for like-minded souls who don't follow the herd.